Hello everyone and welcome back to Riverbend Springs Train. Well, after March is only going to be a quick episode that turned into a full episode. We are back into April and now we can start the plan as I first intended. So, lab Fent Forestry Edition, not something we need. That interested me. I looked at that. Not bad money, decent, but it's not fertilizing. If we were to get another drill, I would want one that did fertilizer as well. We've had one of those before. I say my first job is going to be making hay while the sun's shining. Now, off camera, I set up and I did a couple more little contracts. I did a couple of hoeing and a couple of bale wrapping just to bring the money up, just so we weren't going to be struggling. What I might just do is see if there's anything of interest on the list now. Not really. You guys have seen me do Deadwoods too many times. I don't feel like I need to do that anymore. We will need to go down and check the sawmill at some point, but that can wait. Like I said, this is going to be a hay. It's going to be hay baling, so we're going to have full field of hay, which we can then will feed what the TMR mixer can take, but then what it can't take, we will. I'm actually going to still say it's a swath dropping, just because it's going to make it a bit more compacted. Reverse right back out. Doing assist because I'm going to be the one who does this. Wow, that's looking like a really good. That's looking like a fantastic swath we're pulling out there. Nice. At least me doing it and not the AI. We're not going to. I won't go miles off the field like it always manages to. So that's taking one layer of fertilizer. So we're going to have to re-fertilize, obviously, which is no big deal. We have the spreader. Then once we've done this, we give it a quick spin around with the tedder. And then we're going to bale it. Okay, as this is grass, I'm not too fussed about getting every last drop. So that's why I'm just, not worried about tightening the corners too much. I know it's going to lose a little bit of yield, but this isn't like crops where we would be drilling it in afterwards, and I find the ease of baling it in a straight line to be worth a slight loss. But yeah, so as we crack on towards, all our fields are looking pretty good, pretty spot on, other than the bits I cut out of that, I'm an idiot. I'm tempted to try and get my hand on another bit of land at some point. Obviously, I'm going to forget what field I buy because I don't end up with. I have the plan I'm trying to stick to, but at the same time, the opportunity to get more land is never a bad thing. So I'm keeping my eye on the amount. So I mean, we shouldn't actually have a lot more to pay. I think it's this rear mower is one of the items we still have on. If my brain is correct, I can jump out and check this. No, you're supposed to lift. Yep. Owned by you, so maybe that was the last month of that with a bit of luck. Trying not to obviously spray any in the road or anything like that. Yeah, this field when it's fully fertilized, you see there, the yield off it is incredible. But anyway, I'm going to crack on with this. Don't know what show we're doing. As I say, the hoeing contracts are great. If it pulls up more of those. Aha! That two there, that right next to each other. So you're going to stop a second. As long as DCs take both contracts, just send the AI up there. Because, like I say, all they cost us is diesel. You can go, you're the bigger one. Let's field 38 first. You see, he's just helping us to pay the bills. I'll also have to wait for you to go there and set him off for 4.5 minutes. Well, that's good, that can return to this field, which you've seen me cut many times by now, so I'm not overly worried. Try not to draw like a little bit extra, but let's say luckily the baler will pick it up. So once we tether it, it will spread it a little bit. But because I'm not wide spreading, I know this is unrealistic. Obviously, you'd want it to dry. But obviously, if you're doing this realistically, you also wait a couple of months. Whereas we can luckily ted it and bale it in one episode. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with this, and then I'll set the hoe off, and hopefully then by the time you come back to us, folks, we should have this field at least cut and be on with the tedding. Please enjoy. How we can seem to use the mowers and the balers faster than this machine. This is the max speed of the machine in order for it to turn in time now. You'll see as well, I'm also really glad I left it on swath dropping, because I'm pretty confident that if I let the mowers go full width, it wouldn't actually be wide. This header wouldn't actually be wide enough. So the Deutsch is over hoeing that field for us. And also going to then bale it, and then we've got the bales to collect. And then we've got free fertilizer. It's all about keeping the animals happy, because they're all the key to money. So we'll let this field grow again for another 2 months, and then we'll do a grass cut. Okay, my plan is just to fill the sheep barn, and hopefully to the point where they won't need feeding again for probably over a year. Not realistic, I know, but it's using the mechanics available to me. Yeah, I'm glad I made this a grass farm because this is yielding so nicely. I think I haven't looked at my trees for a little while, so I'm hoping to see, because once we get towards a year since we planted those, I have to double check which episode it was. I'm going to have to I'm literally going to double check the back end of the channel here and see what. Okay, I played in episode 25, so that's got to be over a year ago at this point. I'm literally double checking this now. October of year 2 was when I was doing all them jobs. That was October of year 2. We're now on April of year 5. It's been like 2 years. So we will, once we've done this, we'll go down and have a look. Just 'cause I'm hoping to see at least some growth. I know in real life trees are like a lifetime thing, but hopefully that's not the case. It shouldn't be the case in this game. I understand, although it is like we're talking years, because to be semi-realistic, it's not. In real life, we're talking 40, 50 years. In this game, even for like 2 or 3. I must admit, I haven't particularly looked around there in a while, so it could be a case of the line. As far as I'm aware, I don't think there's anything wrong with the way I planted them. It will be nice today when we can rent one of the big tree harvesters and just go to town on those. That's what I'm looking forward to. Literally just get one of the really big tree harvesters and just cut them all into logs. Just absolutely get them all down in one go. And probably have 4 or 5 trailer loads to go into the sawmill. Or to wherever, it might be the paper factory by that point. Just feeding the industries that... I'd imagine the way they're going by then I will have completed the grain elevator museum. To me is looking pretty close to being complete. Now my plan is, probably some point during this year, is to get a guide and we'll go around and find all the collectibles. We'll literally just use a guide because unfortunately I am not going to find them organically. I've proven that in the 40 something episodes that have led up to this point. So if we get a guide, we'll go around and find them all. At least then when the museum's finished they'll open, we can have a look at them. We can look at them all together, see how they're doing. So I can look at the map, see how he's getting on. Yeah, it's not showing any weeds or anything. And obviously the next one he's got to do is lift these just across the road, so that'll be nice and easy. But yeah, this is looking really good. This is like saying I know for a fact that these lines are going to be well within the working width of the baler. That's something I meant to say. I off-air did a couple more wrapping contracts and the bale wrapper has swapped onto the green wrap. You obviously didn't use them in order. So what I'm planning is next time I need to buy a wrap, which is a bit yet because there's still quite a few rolls on that pallet, I'll buy a third different colour, probably a red or something. I believe I've got a mod that allows me to pick the colour, obviously default. You get a choice of 2 or 3 different ones. But I believe I should have a mod that allows me to literally just use the colour wheel. In fact, I can check that, can't I? There's nothing new in there now. With that gecko wrap in a lot more colours. That's all. Yes, that's I'll try that other wrap which is available. It's not colour wheels on there, but it's a bigger range of colours than the default game gives us. And the fig grass side of mine should get swallowed up in the baler into hay anyway. I'm kind of hoping he gets that over there done fairly fast. Post fan? I wonder what to be the post fan's black. Yeah, I understand the trend not be overly risky, but the school bus is still They've not made the school buses blue or anything like that. It would have been more sense to keep the post realistic, that white colour. Because the US Post Office do use vans that look like that, from what I understand. Obviously, you know, I'm not American, so I have a little bit of guesswork there. It seems to be all like root crop fields is getting us to hoe. Pretty impressive. Like I said, to me, those are it's just easy money. Just trying to make sure that, you know, because until we start getting the harvest in, we're sort of ticking over. The way these things often go. That's all this lot done. Go and get the baler. You can just stick with this tractor because the tractor's doing a grand job so far. I feel like sometimes I underuse this guy because this was the first big tractor we bought. I feel he needs a little bit more love and attention than he gets. As I said, I'm going to go around by those trees and just have a look, just because curiosity's got the better of me at this point. I was going to fix the chicken barn, didn't I, up there? They don't look any different to me. Maybe it's just me, but they look the same, which I'm annoyed at. Well, the holding contract's nearly done, which is... I think our monthly payment should have just dropped a touch, because like I say, I'm pretty sure the last month was the last month on the most. I think the only thing we currently pay monthly now is the Steyr. Oh, and possibly this. Stop. No, you're paid off. Oh, it's the master's been paid. I think it's just a Steyr. We'll drop this over here and grab the baler. And make an effort to put everything away when I'm done. And I remember what I now said I was going to do before in the last episode, so I probably should do that while I'm thinking about it. Open this. I'm going to put it in there for now. Tools. For that one, is that one that you can drive as well, or? I don't know, I only know the one that you can definitely drive is the, what is that? She's a 4.5. That one. I don't want to put it on the roof. Put it there for now. I'll do that, stand in. It's really not great to drive. I'll push it into here, then it's out of the way. Remember folks that we've got it, but it's over there. Pushing me to the wrong end of the field. Hang on, was that a straw supply contract? 147, now we have enough. I'm going to take that because that's like 26 grand. The animal dealer. We're going to quickly do that before we bale all the fields because I feel like that's too good to miss out on. Let's hit you off. Now I'm going to use, I think the Bailey will be better because the Bailey's bigger. But we have to do some maths here to make sure we get the correct number. Oh yeah. Step contract. That's the animal dealer, which is obviously there. 146,000 litres. I'm hoping we can do all that in one trip. But I said we're point up clearing out a load of straws because we don't use a lot of it, and also we're going to get a lot next year because pretty much every field of ours is going to produce it. Right, so let's do the math. How big are the straw bales? so 8250. So 146,000. I've literally got my calculator open here. 146,000 divided by 8250 is at 17. So 18 bales will cover this contract. 18. So that's there. So hopefully that means we get all this done in one go. Let's actually even give me the amount at the bottom. Okay, say no more now. I know I can throw them last couple on top. And they'll be fine. In fact, I can probably throw them on the back, looking at the way that's left me quite a gap there. If I do this, I'd love to know what that noise. I know what that noise is. It's like those old Chinese, Japanese like hanging things. But that sounds to me like there's a collectible, the kind of thing the game would do to let you know there's a collectible nearby. Well, if you can quit dancing, and now I just need to stand up, because then I can sit you on the back of there like that. Put the straps over here, and I know then, hopefully, yes, that's 148.5, so that's just over. And you see, that's a nice full-looking trailer in it. Really is. I mean, you could go third layer on there, I'm pretty confident if you really wanted to. But that is such a neatly stacked trailer. I mean, it's also clearing some space in our bale shed. We don't want it to overfill in there. I don't want to put the second one down. I mean, obviously, we're not using it for pallets, we're using the little cold storage, but still. Hopefully as well, this shouldn't be too likely to tip over, because it's not stacked ridiculously high. No, it seems stable. Yes, this basically should be the payment we need. I knew them transport contracts. I don't do a lot of them because they can be kind of cheap. Because literally there's often a case where you can buy products from the anything station, sell them and make a profit. But it feels almost too easy sometimes. Yeah, bale's going over there, so I'll do all my straps. Plus the N2 just fall off. I got a bonus 700. What I do is collect. Anything else of interest? And barley and sorghum, if we'd actually at the point where we've grown the barley, then that would be interesting, but as it stands, sadly we don't. So instead we can now go back and do the baling. Obviously to collect the bales we won't use this trailer, we'll use the one that allows us to pick up on the move. That was a great payment, that. And we should still have 250,000 leads. We could still do that contract 2 more times. Really, and still have it left over, so we're not desperately short, which is great. So I'm going to check. I wonder if I picked the wrong trees or something. It's weird how there's like no signs of growth on them whatsoever. I was really hoping they would have started springing. I'm pretty sure that is the same size we planted them at. I'm going to swing around here to get my line up a little bit better. Yeah, because that can go on the end of there. You see that my new little bale trailer? That's one of the reasons I bought the washer one in front, to just show. And my logic being with this all just like matte black painted was it was going to look like, you could imagine we at the farm had like made it by cutting down an old tipper we weren't using anymore. Now I can just wheel this out. So you can imagine we like took the tipper, cut the sides off it, cut the back off it, give it a quick blind on with like in England you'd be like black hammerite or something like that. And just made ourselves a nice little elephant moving a few pallets here and there. So, it's nice to be used for moving pallets, or it could be used for bales, although you wouldn't get a lot of bales on it. That's going there, and then we're going to go and grab. Okay, it's currently empty, which is not a bad thing. The twine, I'm going to need to buy some, but as you can see, that's a long way off. Reset the counter. And get this thing ready to go. There shouldn't be any errand bits miles off the field to try and sort out this time. I forget how big these arms are. I could even actually maybe add 2 in at once in here. I think I am, yeah. Oh yeah, that's going to be great. So I'm going to get this done, folks, so sit back and enjoy the show. Well, that's fantastic, folks. We've got the 100,000 litres we wanted in the EMR mixer, which I'm now going to turn on in a minute and get to produce another good fresh batch. And we've also got another 80,000 gone into storage. So what I'm about to do now is I'm going to set the air up in the fertilizer, and we're going to finish off with the traditional job of moving the wood. That's better. I reckon we can finish down like 100k if we do that, which is really great. That contract too. That can be enough fertilizers, you reckon, to do the field? I hope so. If not, it might be an emergency run to the store, buy 3 or 4 bags. Which once again is why I want to do the wood, just because I know it'll be using the money. I'm going to set the auto course plough to do this one, because I'm not bothered about doing it. You guys have watched me in this field a lot today. It'd be nice to get out into something else. I see you go over there. Yes, I'm going to have to move that because that is now in the way. I knew wherever I put stuff it had been in something's way. Not that I'm overly worried. Manure spreader, which if we had a manure pit would be interesting, because we're obviously going to have, certainly in time we'll have enough cows and something like that could be feasible. As of right now I don't think we're producing enough. I'm also going to do. I'm going to do it as like a bit of a weird loop round here. You'll see in a second, but go through the barn. I'm going to collect the honey and also any. You say the rope maker's a good place for wool right now. It is. So if I grab that, I can sell that on the way to the sawmill. He's down that way. I want full only. I want all. Yeah, honey production seems to be. I don't know if that's been majorly nerfed between this and 22, but it certainly feels like it. Definitely feels like we used to get a lot more. I didn't realise I was going to fix that, didn't I? Because look at that angle, that is freaking awful. I will sort that out off air before next episode. I can think of any wool. Basically do a complete run round. In fact, the wool looks like it's barely filling up the spawn area. I had a feeling I was going to get the front too. I'm going to grab any lettuce and get them to the... Get them round to the little kiosk. I'll say depending on that, we'll finish the episode by buying a good few fertilizers. So we can use my new track and test my track out with a trailer on the back. One pallet, yeah. And a little bit off of... Maybe I should change that from lettuce. I don't know if I should maybe try something else on there. Or whether I should buy the bullet, put another one next to it and just double down on whatever we're doing. I did say I was leaving room there for another, either a greenhouse or some other building. I'll go wide on there, hopefully. Nobody still nick that corner sliding right. Okay, that's just... This tractor's actually the one with narrow tyres. This tractor shouldn't cause a problem. I'm going to sell this lot. 8 grand for just like hardly any money in a one pallet unless it's in bad. So the rope maker is right at the bottom of the map. If I go this way to the sawmill, I should go past him. I know this feels like the long way to the sawmill, because it really is, but I'm just trying to help move us forward. I don't think we're going to need the cement production again. I think that's totally done. Then once we finish the museum, we can keep the sawmill, because there's the playground maker, there's the wagon builder, both of which I want to look at. What I'm going to do is, once we think the museum's done, I'll pick probably the playground maker next. I think he's just wood. The wagon builder needs rope and fabric, both of which means I either need a lot more sheep or I need to get into cotton. Another good thing about it is we have a look at my field 88, which was the field I bought a couple of episodes ago now, because it's down here, but it was a wheat field that was at the same growth stage as all my others. That one there. Because the road maker is you, isn't it? Yes. There's not this here. This here I think is a farmyard with the Riverbend water tower in. That is actually purchasable. No, it isn't. That's not something you can purchase. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. You can fight that land. 300,000 is not bad. Company Field 89. And a really cool farmyard. Here's the rope maker. The unload point was somewhere around back. So yeah, so 11 grand, and then we can go up to the sawmill. You say, no, he didn't quite make you round. Okay. I don't know how fast short he was. is he? Where is he? Where is he? He's so far out here, so I'll buy a couple more. I wish there was a way to like bulk buy. You know, buy like a 20,000 litre one or something like that, just because sometimes I don't mind messing about with a lot of pallets, but it would be nice to just get a load in one go. Yeah, like I say, I come to the conclusion that the buy anything station was fleecing us, which is why I don't use that anymore. I'm not getting rid of it because it might be useful for other things in the future. I certainly didn't buy my fertilizer off it again. Right, so actually what I can do is I can make it filter out. Oh wow, there's loads. If I do this, loading filter any. How do I material type? That's it. Blanks. I wonder if this is gonna test my driving skills a little bit. If I can back the trailer in this gap here, if it can get it close enough. Oh, I'm going to swing the nose before I hit the beams over here. Oh, just. And it looks like it's within range. That's good. Why is it not getting those two middle ones? Hang on, it's picked up a pallet of wood chips. Alright, so if I unload it all to the left. Oh, he's done it on that. And the material type, planks. Should just load the planks. That's done. I mean, I could store the wood chips. It's a bit of a waste storing wood chips in a cold store. Like we've done in the past, if I pile them over here, at least I know I can just pull the trailer up alongside them and load them when the time comes. Right, I gotta get this out of here now. It went in, so it should come out in theory. Look at that, you'd think I knew what I was doing. Because in real life, I've never driven a trailer. I've never driven a tractor. I've never driven anything with a trailer on. Purely my time in this and Euro truck is what gives me the experience to do that. I'm not sure whether it's going to take. I feel like we're fairly well on in the museum's life, therefore I don't know if it's going to take all 10,000 of these. I kind of hope it will, but if it doesn't, then I wonder where the next best price is. Oh, look, it's not showing them. It should show, yeah, planks there, look. In fact, it's showing the playground as a better price than the museum. That's good to know. If we need to, we can take it there and sell it there very easily. Well, down here, it's another. I've noticed I put the times, so I think I'm going to try running times 10 for a little while, just because you guys are only ever seeing like half a day. I was wondering if times 10 will mean you actually get a full day in. Then next one going to May, which once again there's not a huge amount. The farm I'm sort of just waiting. Well, there's plenty of other things we can entertain ourselves with. That's 76, that massive field of crops. Okay, yep, took them all. Gave me 40 grand in the process. Anything else to pick up anywhere? Right, so I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to fix that chicken barn. It's doing my head in. But thank you very much for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Feel free to check out the rest of the channel. There's great stuff on here. I know you're going to enjoy it. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. Till next time, we'll see ya. Goodbye.